I'm really excited. I've got From Parts Unknown today. We recorded at their practice space in Deep Ellum, and they let me world premiere their brand new song a day early. At the end of the episode, we will be playing On and On. So check it out. Also, props to Tony Edmonds and the Full Stops for the new Austin Young Show theme. Love those guys. All right.
We're from Parts Unknown.
We're from Parts Unknown.
We are from Parts Unknown.
And you're listening to the Austin Young Show. Take 58.
All right, welcome back to the Austin Young Show, everyone. And that was Barrymore by my guest today from Parts Unknown. I'm joined by Ben and Jimmy, and technically says we're all unloading their band or practice room right now. Thank you for allowing me in your space, dude.
No problem, man. I'm always proud of showing off this weird, cramped, postered up room.
It's pretty fucking rad. It's basically like you've created a little tiny 3 links.
Yeah.
Within the Deep Ellum walls over here. But so tell me, Parts Unknown, you guys are kind of veterans, been around since 2013.
Yeah.
Put out your first self-titled EP in 2014. And then now, coming up on, you're about to release another amazing EP album.
Yeah, working on it'll be our second full-length album, technically.
Nice.
We did, for a long time, it was just a string of EPs and singles until we, ponied up.
Jimmy's giving you the death eye right now. He's like, you started this fucker without me?
We were yelling at you forever. Yeah. But you come down and sit with me on this amp, and we can... Here, I'll
you
go
believe it?
sideways.
Stereotypical singer, not loading the van, just sat there to...
Right, just
talking it up.
Just chattering away, being all lazy.
But yeah, so you guys are about to release a big fucking album. Sorry, everyone's fucking sick right now. It's just...
Yeah.
Welcome to February in
17
Texas.
degrees in Dallas, Texas in fucking February. That groundhog's so full of shit.
I don't know.
Fuck you, Puxton.
Damn you, Phil!
Veronica was saying the other night, she was like, wouldn't it be great if they just re-released Groundhog's Day, but it was the same movie, called it a sequel, and then just, it'd be fucking great. But like, are you guys excited for this? It sounds like it didn't take you very long to write through and
we're
record
super
this
stoked. It's been breezy. I mean, we've been working at like a crazy rate of like in... I don't know what, 9 hours. We've tracked 7 songs
in 9 hours.
Yeah,
were you
at
the Beatles
studio
doing "Please Please Me"? Like what the fuck's going on?
That's what it's kind of felt like, but it gets even weirder and more unbelievable than that because for both of those days, only a song out of the 7 was something that Jimmy had worked on before, been familiar with. So both sessions, we had like a day to be like, here's the riffs, here's the idea, and then we go in the studio the next day and we were just able to vibe through it or make it work. So it's been like a crazy small amount of prep time and we've been writing fast, which is fun and exciting.
For as little prep time as we put into it, we've taken out all that time wasted on second guessing, overthinking. It's kind of just
so it's gonna be a real fucking punk album.
Yeah,
then.
It feels organic.
Yeah.
It feels natural.
Yeah, the last full length record, our approach was like
That's Bad Haircuts.
Yeah,
right?
and Bad Haircuts are technically our full length debut.
Which that's what Barrymore came from, the song that we just heard.
Yeah. So when we made that, our attitude was like before that. I feel like we always kind of looked at everything like, well, it can't be too different from what we do live, and it's got to be like reproducible to a certain degree. And then when we came with Bad Haircuts, they're like, let's not do that at all. Let's just try to do anything we want. Let's pretend we're like a full band with other guitar players or whatever, and we'll throw whatever instruments we want, piano and synth and organ and stuff.
And that's something with the process of Bad Haircuts. It was one of those we kind of half and halved it. About half of the album, it was like we had done some pre-production, wrote in some of these songs we were familiar with. But then the other half, it was like, hey, here's like this riff I have. Just hit record. Let's see what we come up with. Build the song around after that. So we've basically switched the approach with this record where it's like, all right, whatever we did on the second half of Bad Haircuts, just go for it, feel it.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that, this idea of how we're doing this record this time didn't come out of nowhere. We just figured it out the last time because when we were in the studio, we were kind of like, well, we're good at improving and writing in the moment. So,
but that's
what
how
if
your live performance is as well. It's really fun and kind of on brand.
Yeah,
so
and we
it
were
makes
like,
sense. The chaos.
We were like, what if we try to do this in the
continues
studio? And then, like some of the songs, like 13 years ago, was a song. The opening track on the album was where we had a rehearsal the night before we were going to the studio, and I was like, well, I've got this skeleton song, here's these parts. And then we went the next day and we were able to like knock it out. Lufthansa was written in the moment. I had a riff.
I fucking love that song,
and
man.
we sat we sat there and I showed him this like little like one riff, and then we kind of wrote a song right there in like 2 minutes, like Jimmy and I, and recorded it, and then kind of just did the tracking after the fact. But half the record, I feel like, was kind of written happenstance or in the moment. And so after the fact, or after the record, we were like, we could do this now.
Does that happen a lot with you guys? Like, I feel like, you said you watched Goodfellas that morning, and then all of a sudden
that does happen a lot.
But then then you wrote like a song about like Big Lebowski. So like, are you guys just basically getting fucking baked and watching movies and go, I'm gonna write a song about this now?
How dare you sell our secrets?
Yes to the getting baked and watching movies. The music part just is an extra. It just comes after the fact. Like for a lot of the pop culture references we put in, it's just really bad inside jokes that we're like, hey, this might actually turn into something, or it's about writing about what you know and what you like. If we had a song about, like Schindler's List, it's like, oh, man, how are we going to make this song fun to listen to,
And then we realized it wasn't, so we scrapped that song.
I'm going to give you guys some personal advice. Never try to make a fun song about Schindler's List.
Yeah, we should have really listened to Spielberg.
All of a sudden, fucking Donald Trump gets you to do campaign stops after that. Yeah.
Man. I would take that, because then I'd get on stage and just take a dump and just be like, fuck Trump, like they'd carry me out or beat me up or whatever, but I would infiltrate that moment just to do that, and then be like, and then start screaming shit like,
all right, guys, we're gonna start a GoFundMe for his prison release right now. Let's just get that out of the way.
Well, real quick. So a thing with the serious answer to that is that I write about serious things, but then sometimes we add some humor after the fact. But it's also just like the Bad Haircuts. A lot of the themes were injustice, class issues, dealing with poverty, existentialism, all these things. And especially because that record was coming out of the pandemic, because a lot of the stuff that was written when we went in there, it was all coming out of like 2020 and 2021, like demos and stuff that we were kicking around. So, but then when I was going to like the Big Lebowski, I thought, like, what a philosophical hero. Like, he's
for sure.
He's so optimistic and driven, and nothing ever really deters him. And so like, what a funny thing also to like take inspiration of, like, don't give up. Come on, make it happen. Your dreams come true.
Well,
like,
look behind you. I married the Big Lebowski for those.
Oh, I love it. I went as the Big Lebowski a couple years ago for Halloween, and the costume is so comfortable. I pull like the parka out and everything. I'm like, yeah, I get why he does this.
So
that fictional character.
I mean, but for you guys right now, like, because how would you describe it? I know, like, the internet has put labels of like punk, pop punk, just party pop punk. Like, what do you call it? Because
I like that one.
I like that. Triple B, baby.
For me, it's almost like dance punk, because in every way, like, you can dance to it in any way, shape, or form. Like, I love the shows. The energy is great. Now, I haven't seen you in a hot minute, but what do you want people to know it as?
I feel like, especially with Bad Haircuts, it became like catch-all, or like it was like we'll just no rules. It's Outback punk rock. No rules, just right.
It's a little bit of, you take all the influences you have and you're like, okay, well, how can we blend some of these bands to create like, well, how would, Black Flag sound with the Beatles? And it's like, okay, well, that's a weird crossover, but you make it work, and you just kind of go with what you're feeling and vibing out in terms of structuring the song together, so that you never pigeonhole yourself into a genre. But I'm not one of those, like, it has to be labeled as such. Like, the definition when you get pulled over by a cop is that you're in a rock band. That's the only thing you need to tell them. They don't need to know about the metal side, the skate punk side. No one needs to know the subgenres. Just rock, okay? It's a genre at Best Buy right next to pop. Okay, if you can hear us on the radio, that's all I want.
Yeah, I feel like before there was this more narrow or constrained idea of what our music was like or what we could write, especially with the original guys. And as that changed, those boundaries went away, and these side songs or ideas that I'd be coming up with, it was no longer, that's not our sound. And it was like, who cares? A good song's a good song, you know? With Bad Haircuts, our approach really was like, this might be our last chance to make a full-length record. This might be the last time we're in a studio. Let's treat it that way. Let's take advantage of this and really not hold back in any way and not sell ourselves short. And so, it was the idea to have it include all these subgenres or different directions was cool because we wanted it to have an album flow. We wanted it to be this kind of complete thing. And now we're coming out, it's like almost like a 2.0 perspective of that. But we're like, well, why not just write fun songs? Like now the main thing is like we want people to dance and move, and we want people to sing along. And however that happens and whatever comes naturally and from our like world of influences, everything coalescing into our thing. And so when I've been playing these new songs for people, I've been telling them, like, I think it's a big departure and a big change, but the consensus response coming back to me has really been like, no, I mean, these guys sound like you. Yeah. These are your songs. Like it's a little different, or they're a little more catchy, or at times quote unquote simpler, but it's still you guys. Yeah. So,
but before we go to break, new members. Speaking of new members, I got Cesar looking at me pretty hard right now. Yeah. So
he only has one look, and it is hard.
So what happened? I heard you learned the bass just to join this band.
No, that was the guy before.
Oh, that was the guy before.
Yeah, no, Cesar is. Cesar is like a lifetime player. He's been keeping the low end for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much, almost.
Who were you in before this?
I used to play bass for Revolutionary. We used to play ska.
Okay.
Then the Working Class Cannibals. Then Dog Company. Yeah. And now with them.
So do you like run in the same circles as like Champ and all them from Cayuga as well?
Champ's our boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, so we used to play shows with Revolutionary all the time in the beginning because they were one of our favorite bands, and we always had a blast. So when they were around, we tried to get them on every show we could and play, and this was always fun. And I loved them. I still have a shirt too. I found a white Revolutionary shirt that I still wear. So yeah, no, Cesar's always been around.
Well, my question is for you and I get this. So I've interviewed a lot of Dallas punk bands now, and From Parts Unknown always gets mentioned as every local band's favorite Dallas punk band.
Well, yeah.
So how does it feel like stepping into that?
I mean, it's cool, but it's a lot of pressure. like tonight, it's gonna be my first show here, so it feels weird, man.
Well, thank God it's at like midnight on a Thursday. It's gonna be and it's cold as fuck.
Yeah, but it's
good show to break into.
It's kind of hard because the people already know the old bass player. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to, well, I don't even know what to say, man. But it feels weird.
Cesar is such a professional, and he takes everything so seriously, which I love. So. We always looked at this as like, oh, this is our official Dallas homecoming since he joined the band. Because I mean, the only real show we've played kind of in the area was we threw like a little DIY show at a local boxing gym to do like a fundraiser.
Oh,
but that was kind of like a little sleeper show.
Was that with Hot Cake Hand Grenade?
Yeah.
Fucking shout out to Raleigh there.
Yeah. Hey, Raleigh.
Reintroduction to the world with Dad's new hot girlfriend. You know, it's like, okay, look who Dad brought home there.
Say that on mic one more time.
So this is like a reintroduction to the world with Dad's new hot girlfriend. Now that we got Cesar slapping the bass.
Yeah. Nuestro nuevo muñequita.
I'm gonna kick it back to you. How does it feel being in the band that every local says is their favorite local punk band?
You know, that really warmed my heart, and I love that. I think that's great. I'd like a list so I could send like
Josh
flowers.
On the way down.
Okay.
I think
I'm just kidding. You don't have to list them all.
I know Tony Edmonds.
I love Tony. Yeah.
Good old Teenage Bottle Rocket fan there too. So.
Yeah.
But like you guys always seem to be like on that bill a lot. Do you guys have an in with Teenage Bottle Rocket?
Yeah.
What's the love story there?
Well, we've been lucky just to become friends with them over the years. Ever since we played a 3 Links anniversary show a long time ago, but then right around the time, Miguel was like thinking about moving here, and I became friends with him and his wife.
I was at that show.
And then after that, like we lucked out that night. We became friends with Decent Criminal, rest in peace, and Make War. We just lucked out that we were able to connect and become homies with them, and then through years it like spread to some of the other guys. But Ray and Miguel have just been good friends, and always looking out or trying to like throw us a bone or get us on stuff. You know, even if they're like talent booking agencies, like no.
Yeah, this tour we did last summer, we actually swung through Ray's house in Colorado and kind of just did a quick little mini set in his basement and just kind of hung out there, shot the shit. And
we actually have 2 unreleased videos from that we still haven't put out, of us doing like just in his basement studio, like just doing live songs.
Y'all are sitting on some content. Here's what it sounds like.
You know, we actually always are. Like, there's been like a history of. We've got some unreleased music videos that never came out because, like, every time someone quit the band or got fired, we happen to just have a music video done and stuff we were like trying to get out.
That's like, do you remember the band The FNAs?
Yeah.
Dude, like I swore every time they'd be like, oh, they left the band, so we got to re-record. And I'm like, if you do that every time somebody leaves this fucking band, you're never going to release shit.
Yeah, you'll become my old metal band Dying Ground. Like where we just, oh man.
It's not just a clever name.
Oh my God. And I feel like that happens with everybody. But guys, we got to take a quick commercial break, pay that server bill. This is Teddy Ruxpin off the Bad Haircuts album from Parts Unknown. Well, for the second time, welcome back to the Austin Young Show. That was Grape Soda by Hot Cake Hand Grenade and Teddy Ruxpin by my guests from Parts Unknown. I keep just wanting to say Parts Unknown. And then,
you can. Or if you want to call us prom farts, if that's easier, FPU.
You can misspell the unknown. There's 3 N's, okay? But everyone always forgets one of them somewhere.
Yeah, we've been unknown and uncone a lot.
So, real quick, what was Teddy Ruxpin about?
It's about appreciating the time you have with friends and family while you have it, saying the things you want to say and doing the things you want to do, because you can't undo what happens and you can't go back in time. So, you know, it's terrible losing people, friends, relations, family members. So you just want to look back, remember the good times, be able to live and harness those, and also have that wisdom in the future of like, you know, you only get one shot at everything. And, you know, like I tell that to people now, they're like, when's your next show? When's the next local show? I'm like, I don't know, but you better go to the next one because it might be a while.
You don't know what's going to fuck.
Yeah. We don't play every month anymore now. So like, you know, make it happen. Don't just sit on it.
So, you know, that when you say like, you give that advice, but you know, I ask every band what advice, like a 15-year-old comes up to you at a show and goes, I want to be y'all. What do you tell them? Like, what's the one thing?
Too bad, kid.
Already been done.
One of me, there ain't ever none to be another one.
Highlander, motherfucker. I would tell them to finish school and invest. No,
Tell them drop out and do drugs and let the creativity flow.
divest and drop out. I would say, so I would say the main thing that 13 years ago is about is being patient, because no matter how much things suck right now, they can improve rapidly or gradually, and you don't want to throw away your future for the present. So like 13-year-old me and 15, 16-year-old me, sad guy. Things weren't looking very great. But if I looked at me now, I'd be really stoked. Not that like I'm just king of the world, but like for then, if I look now, I'd be like, oh no, life turned out pretty good. Like I got that band eventually.
I'm in a kick-ass band and life's going good.
Yeah, I got a wife, I got a band. It's like I don't have a lot to complain about.
What would you do differently though, do you think?
That's hard to say, because if I do something differently, I'm not here right now in this moment. And I like the way things have worked out. But if there's one thing I would say, for a long time I didn't believe in my own songwriting or my own vision of things, and I've always been real easygoing and democratic about things in bands. So for a long time, I was writing songs like a Wilhelm Scream or all these bands I loved, but I thought like, well, I'm a metal shredder. I need to play in metal bands. And I was playing like dispassionate music with people I didn't necessarily always get along with or identify with, and while listening to completely different stuff and writing different stuff, but just not believing in it. And when I look back, I was writing some cool stuff and some cool riffs that got lost in time, that like if I look back, I'd be like, no, stop. Don't do things you don't care about. Like believe in yourself, push your own thing, do what matters. Because the more I started doing that, it seemed like the more people identified or cared about it. The point where I was like writing songs unabashedly the way I wanted them to be, then all of a sudden people were like, oh, this is honest, or this is I connect to this, or I like this, or this is original. And I would have told myself to not wait it's damn heartfelt. Long to do that. Yeah. And because I spent like a long damn time not doing that. And that's why I also got used to burying deeper meaning within like metaphors and jokes and like, loose allegories or just straight gibberish almost, like, just stream of conscious lyrics and stuff and after the fact meaning, but I did have an intention or a real thing to say or something serious. But I felt like it just wouldn't have been accepted. And now I know how wrong and dumb I was.
That makes a lot of sense. What about you, Jimmy?
Yeah, well, the main thing is just you got to have fun doing it. Like Ben was just saying, like he tried to pigeonhole himself into something. I should be doing this. And it's like, well, if that doesn't bring you joy, then it's obviously not working. I mean, for a guy like me covered in pop punk tattoos, you asked me my favorite genre. The answer is 70s funk. But you asked 13-year-old Jimmy, I'm going to be this, hard-headed, gatekeeper that's like, no, if it's not Avril Lavigne, I don't listen to it, But that's the big thing. Is you have to keep an open mind. You have to be able to have fun doing it. And for anyone that does come up to us at a show, how can I be like you? The first step is you came to the show. You got to be able to be there present in the moment. Because when I was a 13-year-old going to shows like this, I looked up to these people and was like, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that better. And now it gets to the point where I'm out there playing it for them, sure, but I'm in my own little world. And if you can get selfish for those 30, 45 minutes on stage, take it. Find your way to do that, because what makes you you is that individualisticness.
Yeah, and I also think it's important that you don't like worry about your genre. Like if your genre is the coolest or the best. Like look at it. You guys were repping punk and pop punk when it wasn't cool.
It's never been cool.
Now all of a sudden it's having like a resurgence.
Well, Blink-182 got back together and suddenly people started caring again. And it's like, what, that one record from 20 years ago?
Soup's becoming a main draw. I'm like, what the fuck happened? So,
yeah, I know. Like just over there selling out Wembley.
All you got to do is write a theme song for a Disney TV show or voice, a cartoon mouse, and you can make a career out of it. Tour England constantly.
So somebody flipped it on me and asked me what I would do if a 15-year-old came up to me and I said, if you're not getting younger fans, your band's going to die. Because eventually, like, your fan base ages out. So, like, you've always got to be attracting new people.
Yeah, and we had my wife and I had one of our best friends staying with us with her 4-year-old daughter. I was talking to her, and I said something about kids being at shows, and she was like, "Kids come to your shows sometimes?" I'm like, "When we're lucky, like sometimes we'll play all ages shows, and there'll be like some kids out there, and they're a great barometer because." Like we will, yeah, and if we're playing and little kids are dancing, like we're like, okay, we're doing something. Or if like the cynical kids dig it, like we lucked out and got to play, or we threw this show up at Rubber Gloves last year, and we're lucky enough to where, you know, they have a bunch of stages there now. So they had an indoor show that was like sold out and crazy. And it was all these young hardcore and noisecore bands and stuff, because that's like huge up there now. Yeah. And I'm talking about like high school bands and stuff, but these kids are like drawing like way more people than us and stuff.
It's like Toxic Madness.
Yeah.
Right now they're
it's all these bands, like they're throwing this like big hardcore show, release show, and we threw our outdoor show, but like they ended up just coalescing into one, and they were cool. They were like, we'll just do like a one price, so you get both shows. And in the end, they had like a line wrapped around like the block to get in the building, and then they eventually like, fuck it, could we just mix stages? And we're like, yeah, of course.
So like two songs in our set, we look up and it's 400 kids that would have never seen us.
And we were ready for it though, because we knew, we were like, holy shit, we got to catch these kids because they're going to have to come out to smoke because it's like you can't do anything inside. It's packed like sardine cans. So we're like, hopefully they come out right at this point when we'll play some of our like tougher songs. and it worked right at that. Like we're playing, and also we just see like a swirl of kids in black windmilling and running outside and dancing. And next thing you know, we're playing in front of like 400 or 500 kids outside. And we were cracking up because it was like your mom and stepdad's first time to see us. And they had to wait in a line, and we're like, they're gonna think we're huge. Like,
it was a total warp.
They came out there, they're like, whoa.
yeah. My stepdad was sitting there waiting in line. He's like, I didn't know you were this big. I was like, oh yeah.
Every show's just like this.
Been that big, bro. Been that big.
Well, but you do get that like Warped Tour effect where these kids come to see this band, and then it's, oh well, I got 10 minutes to kill. You get all of these just curious ears that are just, you know, more open-minded, that are just like, well, fuck yeah, more free music to listen to, you know? And that's the biggest thing, like you were saying, you got to make sure that you're still gaining an audience and still getting young kids. And I think the only thing to remain relevant is as long as you continue doing what you love doing, there's going to be somebody out there that can identify with it in some way, shape, or form. Like when we have songs about dogs, people out there that are dog people are just jumping on it.
Fuck yeah, man. Where am
yeah, one of our
stickers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here, one of our new songs on this EP I wrote about my dog Care Bear, but it's just a love song for my dog, but also for anybody, any application of love references. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, and we're old, so yeah, you could tell by that. And
my
that's
dog's name is Ruth Barker. So
my 6-month-old is Edgar Allan Poe.
That's fucking
rad. Yeah. Jimmy's 215 years old.
Great, man.
Yeah,
a vampire.
And yeah, you know, you got to start fans over because that first generation of From Parts Unknown fans, 80% dead, 20% in the home at this point. So we have to replenish the generations
now.
All incontinent and deaf.
Well, speaking of old loyal fans, y'all have a certain look, and that comes from one of my favorite clothing makers in Dallas, Local Menace. Let's
shout out to Justin, Local Menace.
They're not a band.
Help make us look incredibly cooler than we are.
Let's give us cooler logos to put on our shirt. You know, they got sick of seeing my Blink-182 shirts.
Well, we lucked out because we were friends with Justin, and he was throwing us shirts and stuff. But then we felt like it was a conflict of interest because we have a merch sponsor, Stupid Rad Merch Company, and Simeon would throw us shirts and stuff too. And I was like, and we were always repping him forever. And then I felt like, fuck, I don't want to be like stepping out or anything. I could feel unfaithful. And I hit him up one day and I was like, man, I don't like, is this crossing lines or something? And he was like, who do you think prints Local Menace stuff? And I was like, what the fuck, seriously? And then it bridged them together. We're like, fuck, let's do collab stuff.
That's awesome.
And then from that point, I was like, oh shit, well, we don't have to worry about anything. And they're like super best friends. And so all one big family.
So we went from being just Stupid Rad to being Stupid Rad Local Menaces, you know? And that's that's just stupid rad in and of itself.
Thank you, Shirt Daddy out there.
I will say, and if you guys want to pick up any of their stuff, you can go in person to either Saturday, the Deep Ellum Outdoor Markets, or Everything Ellum on Main Street. There you go, shameless plug. But for you guys just got a new design from them, right? With the girl smashing the TV. And
Yeah. If only we could make enough money tonight to order those shirts.
Dude, I want one of those. Or screen print. That thing's
If
awesome.
everyone buys all of the hoodies we have, we can get some sweet Ringer t-shirts for summertime.
Guys, we're going to have them tell you where you can get it on this lovely commercial. So, Parts Unknown, you want some gear? Go to
StupidRadMerch.com.
You heard that right. Stupid merch. Yeah.
You heard him. Yeah.
Well, guys, I know you're pressed for time because you got to get out of here, but I do have a really important question that came in.
No comment.
It came in from the audience. This came from Tony Two Knives.
Tony.
Why don't y'all cover the Ren and Stimpy theme song anymore, and when can I expect it?
Man, I'd forgotten that we did that for years, and we in the original version of the band,
He was legit upset that it's gone.
We had like at the beginning we had a deficit of songs to fill our sets, and we were also playing these weird shows where we often had to play longer than we would want to, so we were always trying to come up with different jingles or things, and we had more instrumentals written, and then we always wanted to do both Ren and Stimpy themes, like the beginning and the end. And we only ever got as far as we learned the ending one, the wow, diddle down. But
Called Stimpy. So
yeah, okay.
We're bringing it back, Tony.
So honestly, it was just lost to time from bad memory. But I would love to bring it back. And when we do, I want to do both though. I want to do like the beginning. Because we always had timing issues, because it's like you got to be kind of watching everybody. It's bam, bam, it's all jazz time with like this drum thing. But I forgot we did it. Like, we did it
Now
for a
I'm really
while.
excited.
We forgot. We were always just like singing different commercials live or stuff. And we just kind of forgot we were doing it for a while. And then it just got lost to time.
Isn't it crazy? You could come up with the most amazing song ever, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. People don't download it. But then they're like, where's the Ren and Stimpy theme song?
Yeah, I don't blame them because it's sonically better. We still haven't outdone that musically.
Well, like I said, I know y'all got to get out of here. And we're about to have a little world premiere because it comes out tomorrow, but you're going to hear it right now, On and On. Or do you want to say any more about the new EP? I know it's not titled yet. Like, what's this song about? What's going on?
What the tentative name right now is the JP EP. It's named after our producer JP.
Like from Cure for Paranoia, JP? Or?
No, his name's John Painter. Okay. But we're also thinking about adding a Grandma's Boy theme to it after we realized that connection today.
So
but
what night did you smoke weed and watch Grandma's Boy?
Every night. That's one of my non-weed smoking wife's like favorite go-to movies.
Well, it was literally just this morning we just started throwing out quotes because we were like, wait, JP. That's JP. Romont voice. And it was just
please sit on my face. So yeah, we wrote this song On, and that was like the main single when we went in, and we lucked out that we were able to just knock out a whole EP in like that one session. But On, it's just about keeping on. When the chips fall or people leave or things fall apart, just sticking to it, not giving up, being too damn hard-headed to to stop doing anything. But I don't know why. Like, I feel like I always try to write these uplifting lyrics or stuff. I feel like the world's so downtrodden often that like, and I guess maybe I listened to too much Hatebreed as a kid and shit. So I'm like, come on, keep your head up. But I
guess I will be heard.
Yeah. And I loved puffy jackets and singing out in the Connecticut snow. But we
sure you're not pop punk?
No, I left my home.
Yeah.
I got out of here.
And I don't blame my exes.
Oh my God, yeah. Because I was about to say it's like in true. I think it was what's the song? Is it reprise that's just basically a Midwest emo track?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
an
yeah.
on the day thing where I was like, I got this egg shaker. We didn't even like plug in the guitar well. It was like the one that was sitting there, and it was just like this last minute idea that we had to like kind of throw it in there and be like, oh, let's reprise it.
Yeah, well, I'd always wanted to do one, but we really wrote it in that moment, and it was like it came along super fast. Like he had the egg shaker, and I had like a Strat, and I plugged and got a clean tone, and just kind of played the same chords as the intro, because I wanted it to have like the album to have an intro and an outro of sorts, but I wanted it to flow. Like if you were listening to it on repeat and the album just started back over, it would be almost seamless.
Okay.
And but we wrote it in the moment. I was like, oh shit, I gotta write some different lyrics. And like we wrote the piano part, and was stoked to do that and plan on doing more of that on this next record. But just to cut off this EP, there's a song about my dog that goes out to everybody's pets, and then there's another song about just being a working class stiff.
About trying hard.
Waiting for the world to get better and just feeling like it's incrementally changing for the worse sometimes, or not progressing near enough, and you're like, what the fuck's happened? I've been trying for a long time.
I really feel like, Biden like was a new hope, and then we got back to the fucking whatever Return of the Jedi, and I'm like kind of like at this point I'm like, can we just have the Ewoks show up and be done with this shit?
I know. I'm starting to be afraid we're in a Dune universe though.
I'm a fan of Menace guy myself. If we could just go back to where Darth Maul was just,
Can you just freeze me in carbonite and wake me when it's over?
I want to live on the Skeleton Crew planet at this point,
But all in all, the best way to enjoy this EP is to get your PlayStation 2, put in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and a can of Mountain Dew, and fucking shuffle.
Bullshit. Pro Skater 1 was the best.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong on that for
Yeah.
so many reasons.
It's what got me into ska, and I will die on that bridge.
2 taught
Right.
manuals, the balance bar. 2 had a better soundtrack, but
No,
it doesn't matter. 'cause
First
the
level airplane hangar. Fucking baller.
Yeah.
warehouse,
Yeah.
all day.
No cigar and Goldfinger Superman.
Oh, okay. But guys,
Well, that's why you got to play the remaster. It has 1 and 2. The graphics are updated. You get all those songs and then new ones.
I'm gonna remaster you.
but guys, where can they find On and On the tomorrow on the 7th?
There's this thing called the internet.
Yeah, it'll be up on our Spotify page and should be on all other streaming platforms, Apple Music.
Can they buy it on Bandcamp?
And I'm going to have it on our Bandcamp. I'm going to
Perfect.
upload it, and I promise that I'm going to put all our old shit up on there so you could finally get a hold of that or buy it for the house, and
Best
revamp
way
all of
to,
it.
Hear this song almost immediately is come to the show tonight. But
This is the future, bro. This is the
if you were
future.
at the show tonight, congratulations, you've already heard it.
If you can time travel, go back to February 20th and see us at 3 Links.
No, if you could time travel, go back to like 1991, pull me out of the crib, and tell me never to become a drummer. Because this is the most stressful life I've ever lived.
Abduct me as an infant, tell me a bunch of words I don't understand, and scare the shit out of my parents.
Yes.
I'm a time traveler, and you can't let him be a drummer. How did you get in here?
I want to go back to 2006 and go, I think film school's a good idea.
I'm going to go back to 2005.
Full Sail University, here I come.
Oh, God, no, I went to a premium one, which is worse. But, guys, thank you so much for this, and I can't wait to hear this track. Guys, this is On and On from Parts Unknown. Go follow him. Pick it up, Dallas.
Austin Young Show.